Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the unboxing of this build. This is the Stewmac pedal kit. It's a Stewmac fan tremolo kit is what it's called. So let's go ahead and unbox it here. We're going to do a series of videos where we assemble this thing live on camera. So it should be a lot of fun. First off, we have the a sticker. It's a thank you sticker from Stewmac. Then we have the decals that'll label the rate and the input jack, output jack, etc. And there's the first bag of parts right there. And upon inspecting this bag of parts, I was pleasantly surprised to see that the input-output jack are Switchcraft branded and the pots are Alpha pots. So very happy about that. Before we keep going, I would like to let you know this is not a sponsored video. I purchased this kit with my own money. Alright, next we have the enclosure. I went ahead and ordered the white powder-coated enclosure, and just feeling around, I was really surprised and happy with the quality. It's a really slick, smooth powder coat job. It feels like a piece of glass, honestly. I was originally intending on doing my own design and painting, and I purchased the white one so I could use that kind of as a base coat primer, but after feeling it and checking it out, I'm not going to paint it. I don't want to paint over it. I'm just going to leave it as is because it's such nice quality. And there we have our first bag of parts, resistors, capacitors, and whatnot. Have the screws, which will actually go and attach the bottom plate of the enclosure. And we have our PCB and our breakout board for the foot switch. So everything was tidied up in those baggies really nice. Now the kit did not come with an instruction manual included. However, on Stewmac's website they do have the instructions that you can download and print. So that's what I did here. I just printed it out on a printer, and looking through the instructions, everything is really detailed step by step. It goes step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on to really tell you exactly what to do every step of the way. It also has quite a few pages of really good electronics information, like how to read resistor values, what the color code bands mean, etc. It has a lot of good information about all the different electronic components used in the kit. So the first step is to go ahead and open up the baggies and get all the electronic components out, and we got to get organized. All the electronic components are just put together in one baggie. They're not separated by value or anything, so we have to do that ourselves, which it's no problem since the sheet right here has not only the color code band solved for us, but it has a picture of each one along with the value of each component. So Stewmac really did do a really nice job kind of doing the hard work for us. And you can get a magnifying glass and look at the value of the resistors. There's color-coded bands on there, and on the instructions, it's hard to see in the video because I'm kind of zoomed out so you can have a wider view. It does list the color code of each resistor on the paper, so if it's like violet, black, brown, red, it'll say those colors, and all you have to do is look at the resistor and find the matching color code combination. However, these resistors are really small parts. It's really difficult to see the colors at times unless you have a magnifying glass. So really the easiest way to do it is just to take a multimeter like I'm doing here and just test each value. What you have to do is take your multimeter and set it to the ohms value on the selector, and you just test each part one by one. And then as we identify the part, we're going to take that part and we're going to tape it to the piece of paper right next to the corresponding value for that resistor. That way we stay organized, and when it comes to the building, this is really going to streamline the building process. We're not going to have to use the multimeter when we're soldering parts to it. We're just going to have everything separated exactly as it's supposed to be. And right here we're all done. We've got all the resistors put on there next to the correct value. We've got all the capacitors on there, the single diode that's on there, along with the transistors. And we just have it held on there with painter's tape. I recommend painter's tape because it's not very sticky at all, so it's not going to leave a messy residue that could interfere with the solder when it comes to soldering. So like masking tape, something like that. Scotch tape I wouldn't use, but painter's tape is very nice to use. And the capacitors were really easy to tell the value. No multimeter is required on those because the value is literally just printed on the part, and they're much larger, so it's a lot easier to see.